Hey Rad World, welcome back to Spoiling Thrones, the show where we talk about last night's episode of Game of Thrones. I'm joined today with some people. We've got, to my left, we've got Daniel Murphy. And to his left, you got Matt Votlz.
Hi.
And then we got Daniel Sparks over there. All right, last night's episode was called The Spoils of War, and it was a very exciting episode. There was lots of stuff to talk about. Probably, I mean, this is like one of those episodes you've been waiting for since the beginning of the show. You can definitely see where Game of Thrones is spending their money nowadays, and I'm loving it.
Would one say that is the money shot?
Shots.
Shots, definitely. Multiple shots.
Multiples. All up in your face.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yes, money shots all over. That's for sure.
On the walls. It must be very virile. This episode.
All right, so my notes are a little all over the place, but we can start with I've got Littlefinger giving Brandon the dagger is how I've got the notes started here. So
Speaking of virile, over the walls.
Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly what Littlefinger's up to right now.
God, I wish I knew.
Yeah.
That guy.
Probably about 6 foot.
But he gives Brandon the dagger kind of as like a trying to gain his trust. Or something. I'm not sure exactly what his motives
Isn't it true
are.
that when he gives you something, he kind of expects something back in return?
That's what Sansa basically said. Like, why did he give you the dagger? Though, why?
There's always a motive.
Gosh, you should have taken that dagger.
There's always
Look what he tried to do to me.
Yeah.
some kind of return on his investment.
Yeah.
But he gives them the dagger, and they're having a little bit of a conversation there, and he says chaos, and Brandon cuts him off and says chaos is a ladder, and he kind of freaks out. And then somebody walks in and interrupts his conversation. But where that stems from, the chaos is a ladder, is a conversation that him and Varys had in season 3, where basically Varys says that chaos is a pit that Littlefinger will bury everyone in, and Littlefinger says chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder. Many who try to climb it fail and never get to try again. The fall breaks them, and some are given a chance to climb but refuse. They cling to the realm or the gods or love, illusion. Only the ladder is real. The climb is all there is.
How did you remember all that, Tony?
I have notes and did not remember any of that. I looked that up today. So
I remember the conversation, definitely not in those many words.
So with that said, I'm going to jump over to Dan Sparks over there on the end. How'd that make you feel?
He's hoping for the other Dan.
Oh, you mean the whole scene in itself?
Yeah, the scene in itself. Like, what did you get? What do you think his motives are giving him the dagger? Yeah, like, what do you think's going on in his brain?
I don't know. To the layman, it would appear as though it's like a symbol of trust.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he did own the dagger at one time. Littlefinger did.
Yeah.
So, because he said it before, he lost it in gambling.
Yeah, and the Littlefinger the dagger was also used to try and kill Bran.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I think things have come back in Rondo in a way. I don't know. I didn't put much. I think the whole scene was to show the three-eyed raven and how much he actually sees.
Right.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't put much stock.
He just called him out right away, didn't he? With basically throwing that chaos is a ladder thing right back at him.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm onto you, been onto you, you don't scare me.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, because Brandon would have had no context of that conversation. So he was just because if you notice with each character that interacts with the three-eyed raven, he reveals a truth. He reveals an unknown truth to them that only they would know.
But isn't Littlefinger almost surviving in the same way that Bran is? But because he can almost somehow latch on to the right people at the right time. It's almost like he can kind of see it coming. He's that good. He's that well programmed that how to survive and
he's that cunning.
You know, Bran can obviously see things and make things happen. Maybe he has an ability too to see what's ahead. Maybe he can't change it, but maybe he can see it.
I don't know.
How's he survive this long? I want to punch him in the face as soon as I see him.
I don't know. I see Littlefinger as very cunning.
He's very cunning.
He has a very silver tongue, and he knows what to say to the right people.
That's what I mean. He's very, but it's almost too. I mean, it's maybe not, because we see through it. You know, like you said, the layman would see as a nice gesture, but it has a way bigger meaning to him.
Yeah, well, especially to Brandon, because, you know,
he could see maybe what his end game was, and that's why he shut him down with the Chaos is a Ladder thing. Like, maybe he knew what he was getting at with it.
I honestly think with revealing the hidden truths to each person, I think he is trying to prove to them, because no one else has really seen any of like the Night King or of the Whites, you know, of the Dead Army, you know, and he's trying to show them that the old gods are back,
right?
You know, that I am the three-eyed raven. Everything I'm telling you is true. I think that's more what he's trying to establish, and I think Littlefinger is scared now, because later on, you will find that another Stark is just as dangerous as Brandon. Not in terms of words, but he's starting to find out that the Starks could really go without him. And I think he's starting to back himself into a corner.
Yeah.
The one family he tried to ingratiate himself in, not really the Starks, but with Caitlyn.
Right.
You know, because that's the only thing he wanted was her, and he couldn't have it. It's the oldest story in the book. So he's going to try the next best thing. Well, come to find out, maybe Ned's seed is a little too strong for him. I mean, I don't know. You know, I mean, I just that's what I am seeing is Littlefinger trying and trying and trying in the north, and nobody really buying him.
What do you think, Matt? You got anything from that?
Yeah, I agree with most of it. The giving Brandon the dagger was just a way to try and gain his trust. He sees more players on the board, so he's trying to wrangle them into his corner so that he can play them like he's played everybody else, and he's trying to find a way. And when Brandon says Chaos is a Ladder, he kind of rebukes him, says, "I know what you're about."
Yeah.
And then he sees Arya down there playing, and sorry. And he sees Arya down there, and you know, he's clearly impressed with her fighting skill, and it's another player on the board that he has to try and win over.
He's going to try and win her over so he can use that, or do you think he's going to try and stay away from her?
I think he's going to try and use her, because if he can't use her, he'll kill her. That's just how he is.
He probably doesn't know exactly what she's all about then.
No,
right?
she's a curiosity.
Yeah, she's intriguing.
Mm-hmm. And he already knows, you know, how to
these Stark girls
play Sansa.
They're so useful to me. I can't do his
Moving on, kind of from that scene. Bran has another scene with Mira, which was like the most awkward, worst, like sad goodbye kind of ever. She's just like, you know, I almost died for you. My brother did die for you. Like, Hodor died. Like, all these people are dying for you. And all you can say is, I don't need you anymore. Is like basically all he says.
Basically.
And
he probably manipulated her anyway to get her there somehow.
But she says, she says to him, you died in that cave.
Right.
Which is true.
Pretty much true. What do you think she's going to come back into play?
I don't know. She said she was going to leave and go home.
She said she was going to go home.
But I kind of feel like she's the person to kind of sit out and wait and see what's going to happen. Like, she just went through so much.
Yeah.
and you know that, like, if you're curious brain, like, if you were there with him the whole time and saw
amazing
everything,
person you've ever met.
like, don't you want to know how this whole thing plays out?
She's gonna hang back and build a little.
I mean, you
camp
also miss
somewhere.
your family, I guess, too. But
Yeah, true.
But if I were her, I mean, I just because I'm a viewer, I'm like, I want to see how this all plays out. So I mean, do you want to see how this plays out?
Do you think she's more important than she seems to be?
No, I don't think so. I don't. I think that her, as far as a story arc, is pretty much complete, and she
Right.
probably could just go home.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I was her character, I would just feel like I gotta know what happens.
But maybe
with this
she
dude.
deserves
But-
a nice happy ending, like going home to her family. You know.
Yeah, Game
kind
of
of a
Thrones
nice
doesn't really give
reward.
very happy
Yeah.
endings a
No.
lot of the time.
No.
So.
Kind of deserves it.
Unless you're visiting Littlefinger's brothel.
There you go.
Yeah. Man, that hasn't been
Oh,
around for a
boy.
while.
Whatever happened to that place?
I don't
Forgot
know,
he had
but-
that. That's where he got his name from.
Well, and I also, in that scene, I think it was a little bit of Stockholm syndrome, because at least I felt a romantic tension. She wanted to love him.
Yeah.
Because she's the last person to really see him as a human. So,
It's true.
And then, hence why she would say, well, you truly did die in that cave. Because, she knew him as a man, basically. I mean, not know him. But, you could definitely feel that heartstring tension.
Yeah.
Where she keeps asking him, well, don't you have anything else to say to me? Everyone, my brother died for you, I damn near died for you.
Yeah, I think she's wanting him
just-
to say, don't leave. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
it's just proof that he's finally gone, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've got to. It's like at the end of Harry and the Hendersons when he won't go back in the woods. The guy's got to punch him in the face. It's the only way to get him back in the woods, isn't it?
Or like, Old Yeller and all those kind of
You
things.
gotta,
Arya
you gotta be
Nymeria.
mean.
Yeah.
You can't show any kind of good emotion because then they'll hang around.
Yeah. Can't give him hope.
Basically, be like, "Bitch, I told you. Listen,
I'm the
don't love
three-eyed
you
raven.
anymore. Yeah, I've got 3 eyes now and wings, so go away."
We got a comment here from Matt that says, maybe the knife was bait. Littlefinger may have
Bait.
been testing his ability and his
Bait.
knowledge and didn't like what he finds out.
Maybe so. Maybe he knew that. Yeah, could been. Is he expecting that kind of reaction? Then is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think he,
Just
yeah,
to see if he really knows, or is he just some dude in a wheelchair like playing it cool?
yeah. Yeah, I think that, I mean,
But he must
Littlefinger's-
believe in the power of him. Then he must understand where he's.
Well, I
coming
think that Littlefinger and Varys both have at least a lot of faith in greater things than,
from. Not more knowledge of more of what's going on too. I would imagine.
yeah.
I don't know. That's the
Yeah,
stuff
they
I don't
they
know.
both pride themselves in knowledge, which is something that I've been seeing a lot of a little bit online today too, of just like Varys and his like basically he prides himself in knowledge, but for some reason he has no idea what's going on in the north. But I then realized that all of his little birds were killed in the north in the last season.
Somebody's obviously knows things and is leaking information too. There's a line of communication going on that we don't know about yet. between
There's
a certain
definitely
group of
some kind of
people.
mole somewhere, but
Yeah.
we'll get to that here in a little bit, I think. So we also, just sticking with Bran here, we also had an entire Stark reunion.
Not really entire.
Well, not entire Stark, but the remaining Stark children reunion
enough.
outside of Jon Snow, which was awkward, but not as awkward as Bran meeting Sansa for the first time.
Well, it's because you've seen it once, so seeing it again, you're like,
Yeah.
look
It
how
was
Arya
a-
is kind of.
Well, he also didn't comment about how beautiful she looked the night she was raped. So.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a good point.
It was
Yeah.
a beautiful night. You look lovely
I
in
was
your
there. I
gown.
saw it happen.
Yeah. But, well, I guess Arya meets with Sansa first before she meets with Bran, and they,
That could have been better. couldn't it?
Arya coming up to the gates, though, and the guards not let her in, that was a callback to season 1.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened to her then. But yeah, her meeting with Sansa was, it was just two people, two people that are so close together but so far away.
Well,
They're completely different
expecting
people
her
now.
little sister to come.
Right. She was
through the
expecting
door
a little sister.
And found out she was an assassin.
Do I have to call you Lady Stark?
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yes, you do.
Right. So
It was. I mean, the last time Arya saw Sansa,
was
she was she was a brat.
right.
I mean,
Oh, and they didn't get along.
Yeah,
at
I mean,
all.
she
They
was-
weren't
she-
close.
she was expecting to be married off, and to be a princess and a queen and everything else.
Right.
Well, now she's not.
Yeah.
And it really was. And it was very fitting of them meeting at their father's grave.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
The last
Or
time
just like-
they saw each other was at his execution.
Yeah. And it's like, well, it doesn't look like him. Well, everybody who knew his face is dead. Well, yeah, except us.
And then I said,
that's the connecting bond.
right.
Right.
But then I said, can you chisel a head? No, then let the other guy do it.
Yeah.
You didn't see him. Because you do a crap job at it.
Poor dude probably only got like 10
Good
copper
with a
out
sword,
of it.
but you can't chisel a head out of stone. I bet.
Oh man. Yeah. So, what do you guys think of the knife being given to Arya? Like, do you think that Bran knows that she's going to need this knife sometime down the road, or was he
Absolutely.
literally
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, I don't need this thing because I'm
It's
crippled?
Definitely coming back
is
to
that?
way later at some extremely high level of importance. Something big will happen where she'll need that, and it'll save her.
Yeah, that was the vibe that I got. Like he knows the game
You
and
know what
he's
it
moving
feels
things
like
around.
though? Maybe I'll bring this up later, but it's like they're slowly assembling this group of people that when this massive battle happens is going to be like, I don't know, not the Avengers, but there's going to be a group of people that we can cheer on that'll work together.
Well, they definitely are building a group of people that we're going to cheer on. I mean, this thing's been building for seasons. If we don't see these people like actually get together,
but we're starting to see it, and it makes me excited. Damn it!
Game of Thrones always likes to get everybody together and then tear them apart right before they're actually going to need to be together.
That's the part I'm scared about.
So that's what I foresee happening. Is I don't know that Jon is going to come back and meet with his family. I think something might happen that causes them to disperse, and when Jon
Maybe
gets
a
back,
dragon
they're
will
not
come
there anymore.
blow some fire at that place too for some reason.
I doubt that'll happen.
John's gonna be pretty mad at her. Take
Well,
her back down that cave, draw some new pictures of dragons on the wall. Now look, this is a dragon. This is a tree man. No more tree man.
And especially with the mentioning, with giving Arya the dagger, like you said, it is moving pieces around to go back to where they belong.
Right.
And the only person that would gain from the first season of having Bran assassinated would be Cersei and Jaime, because he was the only person that really knew, because he saw it with his own eyes.
But that doesn't matter much nowadays, does it?
No, because in the last episode, she was like, "Who cares?" And like they let the maid
Yeah, the
see
maid
them
was
together.
watching them do it in the bed. People know. She's
Yeah.
done
But
caring about
what
that.
I'm saying is, now this is just conjecture, but what I'm saying is Brandon gave Arya the dagger because he was giving it to the rightful owner, because he knows it's going to go back to its owner, which would be Cersei, who is the only name left
Use
And the
this-
mountain.
on.
Check the bitch off the list with this dagger.
Because she, as far as she knows, well, she never had anything with the Mountain, just the Hound.
I don't know. I think the Mountain and the Hound are both on the list.
Yeah.
She only knew the Hound.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're both on the list.
Yeah,
Well,
they were
she
both on the
because
list.
I think
She
that
even said that, the only name left on the list.
well, I think she thinks the
Cersei.
Mountain's dead.
Yeah, everybody thinks the mountain's
Yeah.
dead.
but
she also think the Hound's dead too, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
But she kind of I think that's all right. I don't think she's got much against the Hound
There's
anymore.
more going on with him.
Yeah.
So that's where I see, in the grand scheme of things, giving the dagger to Arya, basically saying, yeah, give it back to its rightful owner.
Yeah. I was leaning more towards she's going to end up having to kill a White Walker at some
Absolutely,
point.
because it's Valerian. I
But-
think that he's foreseen
But,
something.
or both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Very
kill a
well.
lot of shit with that dagger.
yeah.
That was
Well,
a really
that's-
sharp dagger.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is with this kind of timeline, by the time Jon mines all the obsidian and gets back to the north, all the White Walkers are gonna be over the wall.
Yeah, the timeline's just not sitting right with me anyway at the moment. But you're right. Like,
According to Reddit, sorry, the Mountain is on the list.
oh, he's on the list.
But she probably thinks he's dead. But he is on the list
Now, I
for
can't
the
think-
torture
I can't
of
think-
many farmers, wives, and children at Harrenhal.
Did we ever
Yeah.
see her put him on the list though in the
Yeah.
show? Did we?
Yeah, during her prayers.
There we go.
Was she listing him as before she went to bed?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Totally. Yeah.
Is Reddit really reliable?
It's pretty reliable.
I mean,
It's pretty reliable when it comes to TV and stuff like that. When it comes to real news, not so much. All right, moving on. So basically, now we're talking about Arya. Arya and Brienne's whole sparring session was pretty freaking awesome, and I think I'm trying to get myself in the camera. So I think that I had the biggest smile on my face for the entire thing. I don't know why. It wasn't something that I needed or expected, but I
awesome.
freaking loved it. And that's what made me think about the Mountain being on our list. That made you go, she could totally take on somebody that size, for
Yeah.
sure. That fight was really awesome. And our friend Matt made a really awesome meme about it, and I'm going to show that right now. You guys can see that.
There it is.
It says, "Did we just become friends?" Yep.
That was aside from what came later. That was probably my second favorite scene in the episode. I love that bit.
Yeah, that was definitely amazing. I loved just the full choreography of the whole scene.
That's what I meant
And-
earlier when I was they're assembling their own version of the Avengers. Them two are gonna rolling off their back, fighting together. You know what I mean? It's gonna be awesome.
Throwing up shields.
It's like she's gonna
Brienne's gonna throw Arya into a crowd of people with her
like
swords
Powers
out.
too, when that big dude comes out and turns around, he's got that little dude in the backpack. That's what's going to happen.
instead of shields,
She
just gonna
gets
be
out and just
Butler.
starts cutting people's ankles off. Nice. In someone else's face. 'Cause that's what she likes to do.
Yeah, it was a pretty amazing sequence.
Yeah, man.
Anybody got anything to say? Matt, you got anything to say about
No,
it?
it was fantastic.
No complaints, absolutely.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's nice to watch her water dancing.
But just the way they did it, obviously it's supposed to look real, but man, how did they do it so good? It's very well done.
They've got
They make contact with each other, it looked like to me. I mean,
yeah, when she kicks her in the chest, it's kind of like an
I mean-
oh shit, oh shit, did it just get real? Did this just get
Man,
real? Are they
it's
gonna
just
get real mad at each
some
other? in a
tension
second?
on set. They just kept the cameras going, or what? What's happening here?
Yeah.
No, it was good stuff.
She kicks her in the chest, and then they have that sweet smile.
She does that Matrix kick back and gets back up.
Yeah,
That was the
little
sound
Eddie
effect.
Gordo action.
Yeah. All good.
Yes, I'd seen someone made a comment on the Book of Faces about in the last shot when Sansa walks away from the ledge, and then you see Littlefinger.
Yeah.
If you look below him, there's a ladder pointing straight at him.
Oh,
Chaos.
Huh.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing with the show too, is you have to read every little tiny detail.
I read a theory one time about how somebody thought that he might be Ned, and that Ned wasn't really Ned. And then it was like, yeah, that could be it, that could be it, that could be it. And then you just can't forget about how creepy he is with Sansa. It's like, can't be it. Can't be. He ain't protecting the Starks, he's a liar.
I gotta keep it in the family. Look what happened with the Lannisters.
Oh,
They're so different
well, there's not
after
many
all.
of them left anyway, is there?
No, there's
No.
not.
Tyrion's about to go hide in a cave.
Yeah. All right, so let's hop on over to Dragonstone, or fly over, right? Is that a joke? Huh?
Good.
That's
Yeah.
the joke?
Very good.
Meh.
Yes. Let's fly on over there, where Jon shows Daenerys the Dragon Glass Cave with the symbols of the Children of the Forest and the White Walkers, and basically Daenerys believes him and says that she will fight along his side if he bends the knee. And she basically tells him exactly what he told Mance Rayder, which was in my notes somewhere. What's the line?
The
Aren't their
people of the
lives
sun-
worth more than your
Yeah.
pride? And that's exactly what he told Mance Rayder when he told him to bend the knee. So,
Goes
yeah,
around, comes around.
right. So, what do you guys? How did that scene make you feel? Did it just like piss you off? You're just like,
No, because
no.
I'm still not on the fence about them getting together. Really, you know, I could.
I
see
think they
it.
will. It's just her.
Yeah, but
Is she gonna go full dark side? Is
I
she gonna
think
go Mad Queen?
she's just too bratty for me at the moment. I could care. You know, I could care less about her right now. But she does have a cool dragon thing going on. But
She does have a cool dragon thing going on. That's kind of what she's had going on
I'm
for a
not
while.
really. I know that, but I'm not really rooting for anyone in particular. Because
Yeah.
I feel like now there's just so much going on. It's like, well, let's just see what the top three end up being, shall we?
All right. Here's the postulate question. Do you think John bent the knee in the cave?
Before they came out?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think so, but they did like in this episode they did show or not show things specifically. Just
she totally did what he didn't want her to do and just took off. Like, I think that was just like, all right, well, none of these guys gonna be on my side. I'll go take care of it.
yeah,
You know, I don't know. That's what I mean when I say she just comes across as a little bratty at the moment.
Mhm.
But I know she's got to take the reins, so to speak,
yeah,
take the throne back.
but yeah. I don't think John bent the knee though. I really don't.
Nah.
I don't know though. Because now that you put it in my mind, because to move further on in the notes here, John and Davos question Masande. Is that how you pronounce her
Yeah,
name?
Sunday.
About her like freedom and why she fights for Dany, and that happens like pretty much right after that sequence. So like maybe he's bent the knee now and pledged his alliance. And now because in that scene when she's talking to him, or when he's talking to her, I was thinking like, you know, is he trying to get in her head? Maybe try to get her to leave to see what happens, to see how she treats her own people. But then when she says, "No, we've chosen our queen. We fight for her,"
Like a test.
and then Davos is like, "Can I switch sides?" But now that you say that, maybe he's questioning her because now that he's pledged his allegiance, he's really like, "Oh shit, what have I done?" Now he's
Yeah,
like doing his
that's
research. Like, is she
possible.
really worth fighting for?
It's possible.
Well, personally, I don't think he did.
Yeah,
I honestly think they just came to an understanding.
yeah.
Me personally. But I mean that's a question to ask though is
It's a good question.
did he bend the knee? Did she bend her knees?
Yeah.
You know? Did he give her the old you know, what for?
Maybe that's what they decided on
you
for
know what
that.
I mean? Yeah.
I would like to think that HBO would let us see that bit
Yeah.
if they do that.
Yeah, that would totally be on camera.
Yeah.
For sure. Get some ratings.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't think they really needed to worry about ratings with this episode though.
No, I mean definitely not. Definitely not. But how did you take that conversation, Matt, with John and Davos and Masande?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's John putting his feelers out because he's really considering joining her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's really considering bending the knee, so. Or putting
Yeah.
a ring on it. I don't know. I'm hoping that they get married. That would be awesome. But
Yeah.
and then he could still be the king of the North.
He could still be the king of the North. Well, kind of, because he won't be there, right, if he marries her?
True, but maybe they'll.
Not necessarily.
I mean, you know, don't you want to
Well,
sleep in
yeah.
the same bed as your wife?
I'm hoping they raise King's Landing and move the capital somewhere else. But
All right. Well. So shortly after that, we get the John and Theon reuniting. That was pretty great. I really thought he was going to kill him. Yeah.
honestly, I had forgotten about what Theon had done for Sansa, and so, like when he didn't kill him, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I really did. I expected him to drown him.
Yeah. I really thought he was going to kill him too. And yeah, when he says that, I was like, oh yeah, I guess that did happen, didn't it? I guess, you know. But yeah, Theon comes back to basically ask Daenerys to help him get his sister back. But
Nothing yet. Maybe next week.
yeah, well, nothing yet. But that was a good. It was a good hard cut to well, she's not here.
Right.
And it's like, where is she? And then just hard cut to Jamie Braun,
Which is really what
Dickon,
they
and the
wanted.
Lannister army.
Yeah.
Rickon?
Dickon.
No, it's Dickon. Yep. Nobody's above dick jokes, that's for sure.
Certainly not Braun.
Yeah. So basically, here's we're at the final scene of this thing with the entire Lannister army. They've got the gold. It's on its way into the gates, I guess. I guess it made it into the gates. That's what.
See, I missed that. I was all excited
Yeah.
that the gold was melted.
Yeah, the Tarly guy said that it had made it into the gates of King's Landing.
Which I suppose, in the way of things, if they're that close and they've got dragons and they just took everyone out, I mean, the only way that the other people can even think to progress in this war is to have the money to do what they need to do. So it's balances it. But
Yeah. It bounces, yes, but I'm still under the assumption that this season's going to end with the Game of Thrones part of the show basically complete. Like, whoever's going to be on that throne is going to be on that throne by the end of this season.
Well, look how close they are.
All right. I'm just saying, like the way that the show's
On the
progressing and the
doorstep.
pace that it's moving at now, I think that whoever's going to end up on that throne is going to be there at the end of this season, and then the next season is going to be the real war with the White Walkers and all that.
Yeah.
But when it hard cuts to that, did everybody else just freak the fuck out? Where you're like, oh no, like, there's gonna be a dragon over
The
there.
dragon,
Right?
I could tell the dragon was coming. I was confused about the army.
The Dothraki?
Like, yeah, what is that?
Like, how did they get there so fast?
Right, one of the things, but
Yeah.
Well, they were what? They were across the Blackwater.
Right.
So.
But how did Tyrion get there so quick?
Well, he was with.
Well,
I mean,
and
he was there.
Dragonstone is not very far from Blackwater.
It's not,
No.
because I gotta look at a map.
It's not very far from Blackwater.
Despite all that, I'm glad they made it.
yeah. But this, dragon flies over the horizon.
Yeah,
just
that was
blowing
awesome.
everything up.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing, and that dragon looks so good now. It looks so good now.
Yeah.
There's a shot of her, like, after he gets the spear through him, of Daenerys riding him, and he's kind of coming down, and his neck wings are flapping.
Yeah.
And it just looked like so real. It made me question whether or not they built like something that she's actually sitting on, and they CG'd over the top of it, because it just looks like real.
Yeah.
It just looks.
Yeah.
It looks very real.
It was like an old war movie taking down a fighter plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he looked fantastic when he came down for that landing, and his wings were all spread out, and
Yeah.
he just looked massive. Just,
Yeah.
Well, that was the whole build up too. Is you hear the rumble of the horses,
Right.
Which I heard it right before
Right.
Ron said something.
Yeah.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
just like, "Do you hear that?" It's
Yeah.
just like, "What?" And you just hear that low rumble, and then everybody gets into formation.
They
Of
surrounded
course,
him.
spear and shield.
Right.
And it's like, well, that's going to be a massacre.
Yeah.
While watching, I was like, well, that's going to be a massacre. Any strategic move, you're going against literally a pike wall,
Yeah.
with horses.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was amazing, having the Dothraki literally standing on their horses trying to jump inside the line
Yeah.
to try to break it
Yeah.
apart.
Standing on
That
top of the horses,
doesn't work.
shooting arrows too.
Yeah,
Oh, that
that
was cool.
doesn't work. I'm like, okay, how are they going to break the line? And then you hear the cry. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Really? She brought a nuke to a knife fight. And I mean, just one line. It just breathes fire in one line, and they instantly break the line.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, it's done at this point. They got him surrounded. I mean, just some of the shots, like I was telling you, Tony, last night, it's very reminiscent of the Battle of the Bastards, everything else, but it is very Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Because at first the way it was cut, it was real choppy editing. I suppose to build the sense of chaos
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
Because that first hit in battle, nobody knows what's
Everybody's
happening.
thrown. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all confusing. You're trying to figure it out.
And then once there is something happening, Daenerys broke the line with, I don't remember that dragon's name.
Dogon, right? Dogon?
Dagon?
Is it
Dogon.
Dagon?
Dagon.
I think it's Dogon. I think it's a D-O.
Oh.
I have it written down somewhere.
It's Dio something.
Yeah, it's
Regaro
Dogon.
And Viserion?
Oh, it's Drogon.
Drogon.
There we go.
Drogon.
Drogon.
Oh, real imaginative
Almost
name.
dragon, yes.
Yeah.
He's the main one, isn't he? He's the main one.
Yeah, he's the main one.
God, how did we forget that?
But I mean, and then as the battle progresses, it was almost like a odd juxtaposition, because as the dragon gets more and more into combat, you see longer and longer shots. I mean, just the shot of Jamie turning, it's like, get cover, woof,
Yeah,
and then he turns around. It's like straight up Pompeii.
yeah.
They're literally ash.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
see the
There's
wind
no-
just blow it
blow it
away.
Yeah,
away.
there's no bones. There is nothing. It melted steel, everything. I'm like, oh,
I like
We were like, that's hot.
I like the shot of after she breaks the line and the Khalasar is moving through, and you just see that one charred corpse just being trampled by the
Yeah.
horses.
Yeah.
I really like that shot, and I really like the shot of the Lannister men diving into the Blackwater to try and put out the flames, and they're still like on fire
Yeah.
and just melting. I thought that was really, really well done.
Yeah,
The
'cause
special effects were great.
Yeah, because if you notice when Braun was when he was, oh man, that Dothraki just chopping the leg off of his horse.
Yeah.
Oh, and you still hear it screaming in the background. It just the camera following Braun as he's just running into because it's all chaos at that point. Just literally running to try to get away. Try not to get hit by Dothraki or by anybody. And then you literally just see a dude just walking on fire, like, don't mind me, sir.
Yeah.
Just like, but at that point, what else do you do?
Totally.
We got some shouting from the comments section. His name is Drogon. He's named after Drogo.
There you go.
That's why.
Thank you.
It's Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Get a life, man. I mean, and I think we all came to consensus before we started shooting. Just the shots of Braun getting behind the turret.
Yeah, all the shots of Bronn leading up to getting to the turret is that very Saving Private Ryan, the same stuff from Jon Snow's Battle of the Bastards, like where it's just like the camera's following him through this chaos, and he's just grabbing swords and just grabbing weapons that he can get on his way through.
Yeah,
and
that was one thing I was going to mention too. Is you could tell it really told his character going through it, because the sword he had, he lost. But he just, he looks at the gold.
Yeah, left the gold there.
Fights the Dothraki, loses it, and just like, sorry, I'm out.
Yeah. I'm either going to die, won't care about the gold, or I'll live, maybe get some more gold. As long as I don't get Jamie burned by a dragon.
Yeah.
because I had that moment of doubt where I was like, is he gonna go for that gold and die? Like,
I'm so glad that Braun had his moment like that, and in a battle so epic too. It was such a cool moment.
Yeah, just like I said, man.
And for him working that big crossbow too, like
those
it
shots.
couldn't have been anyone else.
Just
physically,
just to see him load it, and when it does a shot of his face, you see the ash and the smoke. I mean, it looks like it's snowing.
Yeah, that
but
was
he
great.
just doesn't care.
right.
He has one
to
thing
shoot
in
it.
mind.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man,
And he hits
you're
it.
such a hard ass.
Yeah, I loved the carriage that it was in, how it like collapsed off the
dude,
sides.
that
Like
was
it was just
amazing.
awesome. Like you're just like, oh, they brought it. Holy shit.
It's here. And it's in a kick-ass case. I want a replica of this right now. So I could shoot at birds.
And then I get to shoot it and burns.
So, on a scale of everybody, I mean, for all the other battles we've seen, was it your...
Oh man, it's up there pretty damn
yeah.
high, definitely. I mean, Battle of the Bastards is
Sorry.
pretty amazing, like as far as the battles we've seen. But yeah, I don't know. It's a thing you've been wanting since the beginning of the show. Is you've been wanting to see a battle with dragons.
But
and-
no deaths, and we're still this happy.
no major deaths in the episode, which I was really expecting Jamie to die there right at the end when he
Yeah.
charged.
I'm glad that he didn't. I really want to see where they're going with him, because that's been bugging me for a long time. Like,
whose side is he on?
How he's going
like
to end
where
up.
he's going to end up.
Right.
I think that after this, because he lived, I think that this is what we're gonna see.
Surely
his...
now he realizes it's like, man, she's really not worth all this.
Well, no, well, I just think
I should
that
be on their side.
I think that him coming back to Cersei with, basically, I mean, I guess that if the money is there, maybe it's still a victory. But coming back to Cersei with defeated, their army's like pretty, I mean, that was kind of the newer army.
Be like, remember
like
that dragon
newer soldiers
thing?
and that?
Yeah, remember that dragon they got? Well, they got 3, and it's way worse than we thought. It's not just like a fire; it's more like a volcano coming out of that thing.
Just like it just blows shit up.
Man,
I don't know. Like to me, obviously it was a very grand shot. But me personally, I think the Battle of the Bastards was way better.
Battle of the Bastards
because
was awesome.
you were in the
tension.
thick of it.
Yeah.
This was more like cheering it on because it's like those guys don't stand a chance. Like, yeah, dragons. Whereas Battle of the Bastards was like,
yeah, because you didn't know what was going to happen.
right. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Battle of the Bastards, as far as battles, is my favorite.
Mine too.
Although I will.
This is a battle, kind of.
It was
It was just
a rout.
fun, and it was just just cheering
It's
it on.
what we
like,
all needed to see.
like there
Yeah.
wasn't
And
real stakes in it because you were just like, man, just killing everybody. The only moment when I was like, oh shit, really was
And
with Jamie there at the end. I was like, oh, is he going to die? In
Yeah,
this?
and I think too. We were talking. They normally used to be. It was episode 9 was the big one.
Right.
You know, they give you the big one, episode 9, and episode 10 are kind of like, And this time it's like they threw that out there.
Yeah, we're
So
episode. Was it?
With
4?
a cool cliffhanger.
Episode 4.
Okay.
We have 3 episodes left in the season.
That sucks really bad.
I don't know,
So-
just the what? This is my last thing. The most gorgeous shot is after the dragon does a strafe, and he's basically going into pattern and coming back, and you see him go over what is it, a river or a lake?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just absolutely serene, and you see the drag from basically his girdle pushing against the water, and you see the water part.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so gorgeous.
Plus too, didn't he have kind of a breastplate, whereas
Yeah, when those arrows hit him, the first arrows.
he like put his chest up and then he just bounced off. He's like, man, he's got some like
That dragon scale.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, man, these dragons might actually be worth a shit.
Yeah.
We'll continue on here and maybe talk a little predictions. If there's any questions, comments.
Man.
I did have one comment here from Facebook earlier today from Grace that said, just talking about the episode in general, it was awesome. Loved Arya and Brienne sparring and Dany coming out on top after everything last week. I can't wait to see Cersei's reaction to everything that just happened. So.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be epic. She's gonna have quite the
dude.
meltdown.
Oh yeah.
Especially if Jamie isn't found yet.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is do you think? I mean, in my mind, I think Bronn's gonna, basically pull him to safety.
I feel like they're just gonna fish him right out of there.
But I don't know. I don't think that they're gonna be trapped with the rest of the men. I think that they're gonna make it back to King's Landing. I don't think that they're gonna be on that beach with everybody else.
So,
I would love to see Bronn and Tyrion and Jamie all reunited. I think that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Me too, but I just have this feeling that he's going to make it out of there and not get captured.
But they have to get together at some point at this stage in the game. Like,
I think that's why they kept him alive, is because they're going to do some
Tyrion
closure
was
with
basically
Tyrion.
like, oh god, like cussing at his brother, and then the whole thing just went to hell. He was just basically like, this is not what was supposed to happen. I feel like he's going to drift away now a little bit from her. Like, I don't know. I feel like things aren't right.
Maybe.
I mean,
Yeah, maybe he can.
Everyone's looking at her like the big leader, and maybe that's how it's supposed to play out. But right now, those people aren't happy with her.
It'd be cool if Tyrion could deprogram Jamie a little bit, make him see that.
And I think
Cersei's
he's the only one
really
that
terrible.
can. I think he's the only one that can, especially now after this. That was a bit extreme for the Lannisters, but it's what happens when you got a dragon and no one else is listening.
You've seen a systematic withdrawal from Jamie.
Right.
Because I still think he does love Brienne of Tarth.
I think there's a lot more good in him, and I think it's just that we're waiting on that moment to where something happens with him and Cersei, and it's over. But right now there's bigger fish to fry. I feel like so. It's like, yes, they're gonna give us that story, but how it's gonna happen, who knows? It's gonna come out somewhere.
Ooh, I just had a thought.
Oh, did that hurt?
A thought, eh?
Well, because the representative of the Iron Bank keeps telling Cersei on how she has basically superseded her father.
Right.
Superseded the expectations of her father. None of the children liked Tywin. None of them.
No.
They all hated him. Tyrion just did what they all wanted to do.
It's true.
I mean, in all seriousness, so what if, say, Jaime and Bronn get captured? What if the same thing what if Cersei follows her father's footsteps instead of just having one child kill her? It's the other two Lannisters. Her brother's actually coming back, basically following her father's footsteps.
Yeah,
I
there's
think it would be very poetic.
right.
It'd be
Well,
very
it's there's so many characters that have had issues with Cersei that it's like. It's like Arya. If Arya kills Cersei, it's poetic. If if Tyrion and
any
Jaime
of them
do,
kill
it's
her.
poetic.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, don't act like a twat in Game of Thrones. You'll be all right.
Oh, yeah.
Kinda.
Well, in the book, Cersei's chapters towards the end are just basically how she wishes she'd been born a man.
Yeah.
Because
That's why she keeps her hair short, huh?
yeah, and that's why
Short-haired
they cut
queen.
her hair
wanted
short in the
to be a
show
king.
and everything.
She wants to be king.
She wanted to be a king.
She's
She wanted
always
to be a
been
man. She
the
didn't-
male. I mean, she throws herself around like a man
Mm-hmm.
would, as far as everything. That's a good point. With sex life and everything, like she dominates.
Yeah.
Until it comes to her children.
It's true until it comes to her children because she's
Then-
very motherly.
No,
Yeah.
but she's not motherly. She's parental, but she's also was very distant with him. Like, a mother and a father. Depending on obviously, boy and girl and all that, there's a lot of variables there. But she was definitely a paternal.
Well, I don't know. In those early seasons, I think she was very motherly. That's why Joffrey's a spoiled brat, is because
But
she's
he's
not disciplinary, but
he would be a
she's
spoiled brat, though. I mean,
yeah. But Tommen wasn't a spoiled brat.
But
No.
He
spoiled
was just
brats
kind of
normally become spoiled
dumb.
brats because they're left
he's younger.
alone.
He was a lot.
Yeah,
younger.
he was.
But
He
if
was
he's
her-
left alone to do whatever he wants, he'll become a spoiled brat on his own. Like,
Right.
Well, they hint at a lot of stuff in Joffrey's childhood that suggests that he was just a straight up sociopath from the get go.
Well, he's an inbred.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
gotta have
that's
some
part of
effect
it.
on him.
Yeah.
Mentally.
And the whole scene where thing about him cutting open the pregnant cat so he could see the babies and then basically killing them all,
Yeah, he's nuts.
and didn't feel bad about it. And
He's nuts.
yeah, I mean they just
Well,
hint at that
was.
stuff. Yeah.
he was nuts.
Was nuts.
All right. Well, I think that rounds up to the end of the episode. Anything that you guys want to see, like specifically out of next week's episode? Anything that you guys want? No, just
Jon and Daenerys to kiss.
Oh, no, Jorah. He would be on his way back.
Jorah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
one
I forgot.
Captain Friendzone coming back
That's
in
right.
for his final try.
He could pretty much ride in on his horse at any moment now, couldn't
Right.
he?
I mean, yeah, the show,
Oh,
the
and
way the
that's gonna
show's
be
moving,
so
he can be there.
awkward too, because John's gonna have his family sword
Do you think...
and
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Yeah, he has the family sword, the Mormont family sword. And he's gonna be
He's gonna have the
back
woman.
on his woman. And
Man.
That's great.
they cut
That's
off the
great.
grayscale for this.
Way to go, Sam.
All right. Well, starting over here on the left, right, your guys' is right, my left. Dan Sparks, anything to plug this week? No?
No.
So you've had stuff to plug the past couple of weeks. I was making sure.
Mm-hmm.
I gave you something to plug. Matt, you got anything going on that you wanna plug? No.
No. Ric Flair.
No.
Not right now.
All right. Well, Dan, how about you?
Oh, hmmfilms.com. We do have some new stuff on there too right now that we're working on. So,
All right.
yeah.
Cool stuff. And if you want to follow us at Rad Entertain on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook, you can follow myself at Tony Walters _, and we'll catch you guys next week right here on Spoiling Thrones.